Hi, I'm Chris Gahagan, and I'm the owner of Moss Flower Shop here in Forest Park. And I was going to demonstrate how to make a holiday swag, either for the inside of your house, your front door, or you could even lay it on a table, a coffee table, or a ottoman, and use it in that way as well. So what I'm going to do is put this together, and I've laid everything out, materials. I have a variety of cedar here. I have some golden incense cedar, some curly willow branches. I have Australian pine tips from Australia. I have some interesting pods here, both leucadendron pods and zebra pods. This is called chinaberry. I have some blue eucalyptus pods that are indigenous also to Australia and New Zealand. Some privet berry here. I also have some pink heather, some pheasant feathers, a pomegranate, deer antler, some seeded eucalyptus, and some magnolia. So what you're going to need to do is kind of like, I lay everything out like you're pretending like you're going to be cooking a meal. So you put all your ingredients out on the table because you're going to be making this in your hand. And so you kind of want to just be able to grab as you go rather than walking to another place to gather all of your elements. Wire cutters, probably a good thing to have. Also some flower clippers, shears, some wire, and some kind of, this is called Davy tape. It's a sticky tape that's also used in floral design. That's kind of keep it all together. So first of all, I'm going to take the base layer, which would be the cedar. And I'm going to gather these pieces here in my hand. So that's my first layer. Then I'm going to take a longer element and kind of weave this into here, like so. Then I'm going to take one of these pieces of curly willow and kind of weave that back into there as well. So I'm starting to kind of build a base for this project. I'm then going to take an element of the eucalyptus here to add a little bit of different texture. Then I thought maybe I might go in here with some magnolia. Okay, so you can see as I'm kind of creating this like this here. I think I'm going to take another piece of magnolia and weave this down into here too. We kind of want to build it up three-dimensionally, so it's not, everything's just not laying on top, thus the weaving kind of mechanism. I'm going to take another piece of this pine, put it down below. Then I'm going to go in and add some of this incense cedar, which is one of my favorite things because it has this gold kind of tip here. And that again is going to add another layer of texture. You can see as this is starting to be created into that shape. Then I think what I'd like to do is take some of the chinaberry. I like the way that this color palette plays off of the golden here. We're kind of going with a more kind of untraditional color palette for holiday rather than just reds and greens. We're going kind of a little bit more softer and a little bit more feminine and a little bit more just kind of different. I'm going to take some of this eucalyptus pod here, which has this blue texture, and I'm going to also weave that into here, like so. Then I'm going to take another branch, lay that on top. As you can see, it's starting to get big in my hand, so you need to be kind of strong as you add in all these elements because you are holding this in the palm of your hand. That's how you build it up. Adding a couple more of these pods here. I think some of this privet here to the side. Then definitely want to add a little pink heather to kind of soften it up and also complement the seeded euc here, which is actually been treated. This has been colored to be that color. That's not natural, but I think it's very pretty. And then I'm going to weave a little bit of this heather here onto the side like so. Then we're going to see I want to take some pheasant feathers, and we're going to put these into this as well. We want to make sure that we can see the pattern of the feather. So I'm putting that there. Then I have this pomegranate, which I'm going to somehow attach into here, probably with some wire. Then I also have this antler. And you can see I've already wired the antler, so I'm going to wire that into the base here at the end. So I'm going to move this out of the way. So now this is my finished, somewhat finished product, but what I'm going to go back into here now is with wire, and I'm going to wire this all together to keep it all intact. So I'm going to remove the pomegranate for a minute and grab some of this coated wire. I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to take it, I'm going to slide it under here. All of these pieces have all been gathered, and I'm going to take this and twist it, and I'm going to wrap this numerous times very, very tightly, as tight as I can, just to keep it all together. And then I'm going to go back in and do this probably 2 or 3 times with even more wire and tape at the end, just to make sure it's very strong. So I'm twisting this in the back. You can't see that, but it's the same as what I'm doing up front, is just twisting it, tightening it. I'm going to take another piece just to be safe. We're going to go back in here, and we're going to twist, take this back under. Basically, you just keep wrapping it around to make sure that it all stays together. Because I've got this wire here, it's going to allow me in the back, I'm going to flip it over. So the back side here, I have more wire, twisting. This way I can make a loop, so you can hang it on your door or hang it on the wall. You could also make this same kind of swag idea on a miniature scale, which is kind of a lovely idea. Say if you have some beautiful light sconces in maybe your living room or dining room, and you wanted to embellish them with little mini swags with a little bit of Christmas. Okay, that's the initial part here. Then I'm also going to go back in with some tape just to be safe, and put some of the Davy tape around all of my elements here. And I'm going to do one more. The more wire and tape is really what's holding this all together. So it's very important not to be kind of lax with that. You definitely want this to be tightly put together so it's actually going to stay stable for quite some time. Because remember too, if you're going to be putting this outside, you've got the elements of, wind and snow and such. So you've got this here. In the back, I've got this wire ring. Then I can trim the excess wire here. And then I'm going to add a bow onto this. And simply, what I do when I make a bow is you're going to want to take a piece of ribbon, and you can do your bow any color, any size that you want. Simply, if you use a wired ribbon, it's very easy just to take the bow and make a loop, and then make another loop and twist like so. Then you have another loop like this. And then you can just add in, layers of other ribbon. I can attach this on top of here. And what I did was, this is the same thing here. 2 different ribbons, a sequin and a velvet. This is a satin silk brocade. And again, I could just layer that here and actually triple up this bow to make even a larger bow if you wanted. And of course, it could just be a simple bow like this too. It doesn't have to be 2 different types of fabric. This has been wired together. Then I take this, and I'm going to go back again in here, and I'm going to twist all these wires together. So you might, if your hands, my hands have been kind of beaten up over the years with all this floral, so I just do this with my hands naturally, but certainly if you're concerned about scratching yourself or this or that with the greens and the wire, certainly you could just wear a pair of garden gloves. So I'm twisting that onto there. And then you want to go back with your ribbon, kind of fluff it up, shape your bow, pull some of these pieces to the side here, and this is going to come down like so. I'm going to pull this up. You can kind of bend the ribbon to make it look, you know, kind of like it's folded in there. And then this is the final swag. So that could be hung. It could be hung up, you know, on the door. Or the other alternative is you could take it, as I said, and lay it straight down on your dining room table or your coffee table and have it be a decoration like that. So that's how to make a swag.